How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store's Summer Sale Part 2 is running right now, and I haven't done as much coverage as I probably should have, so let's fix that over the next couple of days. Here we're taking a look at games under the price of $10. A lot of good stuff across the wholesale, but under $10, there's definitely some good stuff. We'll probably do a video on games under $5, so nothing under $5 is mentioned in this video, so without further ado, let's get right into it. And let's start things off with Prey Digital Deluxe Edition, 75% off for $9.99, a really good price for this. This includes the base Prey game, Prey Typhon Hunter, as well as the Moon Crash add-on packs. Prey is a very atmospheric sci-fi first-person shooter. I think the game does a great job of really immersing you into this creepy world. Pretty good storytelling here as well. I think the gameplay is solid. If you're into first-person shooters, you'll enjoy it quite a bit. Has a bit of length to it as well, so definitely for $9.99, I think that's a good pickup. Speaking of games with some length to them, JRPGs, I want to mention a couple here. Star Ocean The Last Hope, as well as Star Ocean Till the End of Time. Now, Till the End of Time is a PlayStation 2 title that's a PS2 on PS4 game. Might not be for everyone, given that it definitely visually-wise, it is a bit dated, but a lot of people really enjoyed Till the End of Time. It's a super lengthy game. I think sometimes, you know, with Till the End of Time, it's a little bit too long in my recollection when I played through it, but nonetheless, still an enjoyable game. Last Hope has some of the worst voice acting you're gonna come across, to the point where it's like absolutely comical, but there's still a lot to like about The Last Hope. I thought some of the environments were cool, I thought the gameplay was quite good, and the story itself wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. And the soundtrack was pretty good outside of the voiceovers, the English voiceovers, that is. $8.39 for each of those games, I think is pretty good. Whichever route you go, I think those are solid JRPGs to pick up. Speaking of JRPGs, you guys know I love me Valkyria Chronicles. Valkyria Chronicles Remastered is 65% off for $6.99. Man, if you're into tactical JRPGs, VC is just such a solid title to pick up. Art-wise, it's so well done, and it's just aged tremendously well. Keep in mind, Valkyria Chronicles came out back in 2008. The initial release was 14 years ago, and I still think to this day, Valkyria Chronicles 1, just because of the art style it employs, still looks pretty good. The story is fantastic, and it's a story I feel like anybody can get into. It's a war story, an emotional one at that. Yeah, does it have some over-the-top elements? Sure, it's a JRPG, but for $7, it's an excellent game, and the game is told through a pretty unique way through the use of this storybook. All of the Valkyria Chronicles titles utilize that. But yeah, just a solid game. $7 is a great pickup on that. Next up, Rise of the Tomb Raider 20-year celebration for $6. No-brainer here as well. You guys know how I feel about this game. I constantly rave about it. I constantly talk about it, maybe to the point of nausea, but ROTR is just a fantastic action-adventure game, and my favorite game out of the entire Tomb Raider franchise. Had a quality narrative, and the gameplay was a step up from Tomb Raider 2013, content-wise, step up from Tomb Raider 2013 as well. $6 here, no-brainer as well. Next up, we have an underrated RPG in Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition. The Royal Edition is quite a nice pickup, given that you get the DLC, the additional content here as well. This is a historical RPG that does employ a little bit more realism, so it might not be for everyone from that standpoint, but I would say give it a shot. It might be one that ends up really surprising you. Quite a bit of content here as well. For $9.99, you're getting your money's worth for sure, so check that one out. Next up, action RPG here, we have Vampyr. $9.99 for this one. It is available through PlayStation Plus Extra. Vampyr is a game done by Don't Nod Entertainment, the studio that's probably most known for their work on Life is Strange. Vampyr, on the other hand, very much a different game. Narratively, though, quite a strong game as well. Solid voice acting, great aesthetic to the game, and atmosphere to the game. Gameplay, I wouldn't say is absolutely blow away, the combat that is, and the ending isn't the greatest, but overall, I would still say the positives definitely outweigh the negatives, and one of the more underrated games of the last few years. Was surprised how much I enjoyed the game. For $9.99, I think it's a pretty good pickup. Next up, we have AI The SOMNIUM Files, 80% off for $7.99. Man, what a fantastic narrative-driven game this is. It's done by Spike Chunsoft. You already know the deal with them if you're familiar with them. They just do story-driven bangers left and right. AI The Somnium Files was a really good murder mystery with a lot of twists and turns, a lot of unexpected elements to it. And I thought the SOMNIUM sections were pretty well done as well. $7.99 for this is just such a fantastic deal. Even if you're not super into visual novels and games like that, give this one a chance. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by it. Main character is very likable as well. $8 again, just a great pickup all around. Next up, we have Batman Arkham Knight Premium Edition, 80% off for $7.99. Now, if you've never played any of the Batman Arkham games, wait for the Batman Arkham Collection to go on sale. That usually you can get for like $9, and that's a pretty good pickup. Batman Arkham Knight, on the other hand, a very, very good game. How you want to rank the Arkham games? Usually I feel like I see Arkham City and then Arkham Knight. That's just some anecdotal evidence, but nonetheless, Arkham Knight itself is a great game. Combat-wise, fantastic. Story I didn't like as much, but still pretty good. Premium Edition includes the additional content, of course, and $8 for the game. Getting your money's worth for sure with this one, and I'm not even a big Batman fan, but, you know, I really enjoyed Arkham Knight, and the Arkham games in general were the ones that were my gateway into getting more into Batman. And yeah, Arkham Knight, a pretty good one. Next up, Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom, 85% off for $9. Another very good JRPG, maybe from, if you compare it to the first Ni no Kuni game, it is a bit of a drop-off. I didn't enjoy Ni no Kuni 2 as much. Some of the gameplay elements I thought weren't as strong, but art style is still fantastic, soundtrack is still really good, and it still has a really good narrative with a charming cast of characters, and when you combine all of those elements together, I feel like that's still a winning formula for a JRPG, and given the price point, $9 I think is a good buy for Ni no Kuni 2. Next up, we have The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition, 80% off for $9.99. This is a really, really good deal, but like, how many times do we really need to recommend it? Every single time, in fact. $9.99 for Witcher 3 is just tremendous. I feel like Witcher has gotten more popularized as an IP by the Netflix series. You know, if you enjoy the Netflix series, more power to you. I'm more of the video game and book guys when it comes to The Witcher, but yeah, Witcher 3 is fantastic. Complete Edition, of course, includes 2 sizable expansion packs, and the game is going to be getting a PS5 upgrade later this year. So if you do have a PS5, I would say pick it up now, wait for the upgrade. You've already waited, what, north of 7 years to play the game, and I'm sure that PS5 upgrade is going to be pretty darn good. So yeah, I feel like it'll pay dividends to your, you know, north of a 100-hour experience when you get that upgrade. But nonetheless, I mean, you can buy it, play through it now, wait for the PS5 upgrade to come out, and then play through it again, because it's that good of a game. Alright, next up, we have A Way Out, 75% off for $7.49. A very, very good co-op game, but bear in mind, it's only a co-op game. If you buy the game, you can invite a friend to play with you for free, but you need to have a friend, and I know some of you guys sometimes say in the comments section you don't have any friends that play video games. I don't know how that could happen, but nonetheless, $7.49 is a great deal, and yeah, very, very good narrative-driven game, a game that you can complete rather quickly, one sitting even, but yeah, a lot of twists and turns with this one as well, and a very enjoyable co-op game, and Hazelight really become some masters in terms of creating high-quality co-op experience with their work on It Takes Two as well. And a lot of people think It Takes Two is better than A Way Out. You can go back and forth. I thought A Way Out was tremendous, though. Next up, another game I often say is tremendous, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, 70% off for $8.99. Let's just run through the greatest hits. Edward Kenway's the GOAT, the naval combat is great, the open world is great, there's an insane amount of content that'll keep you busy for a very, very long time if you want to do everything, and $9 is a great deal for the game. The Gold Edition is on sale, 70% off for $15. That's a pretty good deal as well if you want the additional DLC, but yeah, $9 for that is a fantastic deal, available through Plus Extra as well. Next up, also on Plus Premium actually, Borderlands The Handsome Collection. This includes Borderlands 2, Borderlands the pre-sequel, and all of the games, actually no, most of the game's respective DLCs. Borderlands 2, it's missing the Commander Lilith and the Fight for the Sanctuary DLC. Not a big deal, you're missing that. You're still getting a ton of high-quality content when it comes to this collection. I really thought Borderlands as a whole peaked with Borderlands 2. Pre-sequel was good as well, don't get me wrong, but Borderlands 2 I thought was a fantastic game. I thought the comedy hit in that game. I thought the content was great. I thought visually it still holds up really well. Another game that just has a really unique art style that's held up very, very well, and gameplay is solid. And yeah, if you do have a couple friends that you can invite to play with you in a co-op playthrough, even better, but solo, it's an enjoyable experience as well. I've played through Borderlands 2 solo as well as a complete 4-person party, so yeah, take it for what you will, but if you are playing it solo, I still think you're gonna have a really good time. And $9.99 is a very good buy. Next up, we got Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, 75% off for $9.99. Gotta mention Dark Souls 2 here and not the other two Dark Souls games because they don't fit the pricing criteria of this video. Dark Souls 2 to many people is the worst of the three Dark Souls games. You can go back and forth, I think, for a lot of them. I just think all of the Dark Souls games are fairly good, and Scholar of the First Sin includes the DLC as well. Some refinements to the game design compared to the original version that was released on the PS3 and 360, but still overall very good for the price point you're paying, the content you're getting. You know, I think it's a good buy. A Dark Souls game for sub $10 is always going to be a pretty good deal in my eyes. Lastly, Dragon Age Inquisition Game of the Year Edition, 80% off for $7.99. For a lot of people, this was one of the first truly great PlayStation 4 titles. I mean, like, it was games like this, Shadow of Mordor, those were the games we were really playing year one, Infamous Second Son, and Dragon Age Inquisition, for a lot of people, was also the last truly great BioWare title. Some people didn't even like Inquisition, but I thought Inquisition was pretty good. I thought graphically it looked very good. Content-wise, a ton of it, obviously. From a narrative standpoint, you have some pretty compelling characters in there, and yeah, you're getting a pretty large game for $8 here, with a ton of additional content with the Game of the Year edition, so very good buy, especially from a value standpoint. In terms of dollar or hour per dollar of gameplay, I think it's quite good. But that is going to do it for me. Again, ton of great deals available right now. Links to all of these will be in the description box below. As always, thank you for watching. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.